You are listening to the FTWpodcast.com, where we talk about wrestling in all of its laughable glory. Here's a clip from this week's episode.
So it's time for your voicemails. You can leave us a voicemail, any one of you that have phones and or internet. So you're going to leave us a voicemail by calling us at 313-444-3894. That's 313-444-FTW4. Or you can also record yourself on your computer or phone device and email it to questions@ftwpodcast.com. Any file should do. Any file will do. Try and keep it under 90 seconds or less and kind of close to 10 megabytes as you can. And state your name, and if you could spell it, that would also be great. No last names, just first names, because I don't want identity stolen. Excuse me. Next voicemail we got is Steve Credo from the Marks Facebook group. And Steve Credo and the Marks guys, they also have a podcast. And I guess this is how they're going to market themselves. But hey, he brought up a really good point about the Battle Royale. So, Garv, why don't you go ahead and play it?
FTW, what is up? It's Credo from Marked Up. Question, two things really quick. One, Santino. After his star-studded appearance on the Elimination Chamber, do you guys think they will be using him in a more of a wrestling role instead of being such a joke all the time? Do you think it's time we could give him a decent push, maybe drop some of the stuff with the Cobra and stuff, as funny as it is? I mean, I think they could make him a better superstar, especially with the reaction he's getting right now. And also with the injuries, with Barrett, I mean, that whole match on Raw, they could have lost so many guys. I mean, from Kofi, with Dolph and Barrett now. I mean, they could have lost a lot of guys for WrestleMania. Do you see anybody stepping up right now with the loss of Barrett? And, I don't know who else is really badly injured, but so far it just looks like it's him. But do you guys see anybody else maybe stepping up and replacing him for a little bit while he's out? Thoughts on that and the whole injuries going on for the past 3 weeks? It's been pretty bad. And right now is the time you don't want to see any injuries, right, with a few weeks to go before WrestleMania. But that's all. All right, guys. Good show.
That was Steve Credo from the Marks Facebook group. They have Marked Up with Credo, Angry Cooter, and the Raz and Albert. I know Raz and Albert sounds like very morning drive time radio, but it's a good show. We have it liked on we've liked it on our Facebook. Go to our Facebook page. You'll find a link on it. Anyway, so the 10-man Battle Royale on Raw took its toll on the talent. Barrett ended up with a nasty, dislocated elbow, at which point he swore, and it got bleeped. Truth needed help getting backstage. Ziggler hurt his shoulder after hitting the broadcast table. Rhodes hurt his elbow and leg, and Kofi was pretty badly shaken up. Of these, the ones that we have confirmed as far as injuries are Barrett, basically dislocating his elbow. We're getting kind of conflicting reports on what's going to happen, how long he'll be out, so we don't really know exactly yet. Given that the Elimination Chamber was the night before, and every single one of these guys was in a steel cage match, with WrestleMania coming up next, was this over-the-top Battle Royale, as Steve pointed out, an unnecessary risk?
Definitely. And I also agree with Steve Credo. This would be a perfect time to come to somebody like Santino Marella and say, okay, we're going to let you drop some of the goofy crap. We've got some people out. We need to put on a show. We've got WrestleMania. We've got our Super Bowl basically coming up. We need you to step up and see what you can do. They're not going to do it, of course, but yeah, this close to WrestleMania, a high-risk match like a Battle Royale was definitely...
The day after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it was definitely a bad call. I mean, you're looking for injury, and that's exactly what the WWE got. And they've been having injury troubles as of late anyways, so...
So what really sucks about these injuries is that the same things happened leading into last year's WrestleMania. We had a lot of injuries, and that's why a lot of people said the card wasn't very good. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have a over-the-top battle royal. It's just, what are the guys doing in that match? You know what I mean? We've seen it before. These matches can suck, and everybody gets out of the ring safely, but at least they did it. They could have done something a little more. They could have done the match, but just held a few cards closer to their chest and not had some, not done anything crazy. Just like, guys, get out of the ring safely. We're going to WrestleMania. We need you to be healthy.
Well, it's easy to say that, but at the same point in time, especially with the way that the WWE likes to eliminate people from a battle royal, I mean, there are so many different things that could go wrong. Even if you go over the top rope, you have to land properly.
Mm-hmm.
If you land the wrong way, or if you say, I don't know, hit a table, I mean, it's...
Suck it up, pussies. No, I'm kidding.
I agree with you, Joe. There's definitely safer ways to have a battle royal. But, even with those safer ways where you just have, like, one person, like, hip toss the other guy over the rope, if you land wrong, you can twist your ankle or dislocate your knee or something. Battle royals are a lot riskier matches than people tend to think.
Oh, absolutely. Now there is risk in this business, especially when it comes to this, and a mistake can happen at any time. I mean, if you look at Ion and Sorensen. However, there is risk, and then there's sex, and there is literally sticking your dick into anything with a pulse. And this was the latter.
I disagree. Look.
Wow, we're gonna have two.
Okay, just you guys have your turn. Just let me speak. Hindsight's 20/20. All right. What if nobody got hurt raving about it? I know. Was it okay? Hindsight's 20/20. Was it at this point? Obviously, it was. But it was something I was looking forward to. 10-man battle royal, a lot of superstars. Good stuff. I didn't have an issue with it, but everybody got hurt, so, it looks bad now.
Yeah, I know, Kevin, but the problem with that argument is that if you take that argument, we don't have a show.
You're right. Make that point.
No, it's a really good point. Hindsight is 20/20. It's very easy to look back at this and say, but that's the problem. I mean, you look back at this, and I mean, if it's one injury, if it was just Barrett, you have a point. It's like, this sucks. This is terrible. We can't do this again. It's just like real sports, where it's like the concussion argument in football. I mean, everyone's talking about when and anyway, but when you have injuries at this scale from one match, when the night before was the Elimination Chamber, you have to think going forward, WWE has to look at this, booking this as okay, we might not want to do this again. Yeah. I gotta say, all things considered, one dislocated elbow, Barrett, you were screaming hardcore, and I know it hurt like hell, dude, but it could have been a lot worse. Just look at TNA.
Yeah.
So, the other thing that Steve brought up is, okay, so Barrett's out. He's gone, at least for the time being. Ziggler hurt his shoulder. Worst case scenario, he's out for at least a month. Rhodes hurting his elbow and leg. I mean, you're losing heels left, right, and center. Steve brought it up. Who's going to step up to the plate?
Santino Marella.
Maybe. I still like Kofi to possibly be the guy.
No,
I really do.
But you got 3 heels that are gone.
Three.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if Rhodes is gone, because Rhodes hurt his elbow and his leg, we don't know how badly. Same with Ziggler, we don't know how badly. Barrett's gone.
Okay, so we're saying those guys are definitely...
Just say for the next... Yeah,
okay.
Let's just say for the purpose of the topic, those 3 are out for a month to a month and a half. So if the road to WrestleMania, you don't have these 3 guys, and you got to build up the mid card for WrestleMania. Who steps up?
Christian, Drew McIntyre,
David Otunga.
Otunga, I could definitely see.
I'm just looking at the SmackDown list right now. But I mean, you've got who else? I mean, who else you got? You got Ted DiBiase. Well, no, you don't want to turn him heel.
Well, given how things have gone with Cena and Zack Ryder, I guess you could start, if you needed a big name, I guess now would be a good time to really start turning Cena heel to prep for...
But that's main event, though.
Right.
You got to think, what the mid-card right now, face it, in one match, WWE could have potentially blown the mid-card of WrestleMania.
Push The Miz up again, rather than keep burying him.
Okay, that's one idea.
You've got Epico, Primo, Hunico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see this? Do you see this being indicative of a larger problem that we've talked about for a while? And it's like the mid card are seriously lacking in WWE.
I think they're just. I think the big bitch is that they're just highlighting too much the upper card. You know, the main event thing. We don't need Cena crammed down our throat. He doesn't need to do the huge monologue every week. Why don't you?
Mondays was pretty good.
I'm not debating that. The guy can work a mic.
Yeah.
Or he can work Mike. I don't know. But I think I think that if you took a show and actually did a main card main event from time to time, you could elevate your mid card.
Okay.
Well, you've heard our thoughts, but now we want to hear from you. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and even join us live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at the FTWpodcast.com.